Yeah, it's a little bit up in the air, to be honest, mate. I think just with how quick everything's changing in Australia. I mean, obviously in Victoria, we're sort of going to the other way again. We've had a little bit of an outbreak. So again, we're not exactly sure when our next game is going to be. I think in our mind, we're planning for Zimbabwe. We're planning for England, and all going well. That England tour, I think that was our next game, wasn't it? I think that's what we're planning for. We're as a player, I know that in my mind, I'm preparing to go to England and play. Whether that happens, we'll wait and see. I think, like I said before, we just have to be really conscious of being ultra flexible in this, and there might be a tour comes up at relatively short notice because we can get there, and that'll be brilliant. Whatever it takes, I think that all the players are in the same boat. I know that all the Cricket Australia, for one, the ACA, whatever we have to do to get a game up and going, I think is in the best interest of world cricket. We'll be looking to do that. I don't have any info, to be honest, mate. I've seen what I've read in the press, and that's about sort of being locked down as a group, and whether that's going to be in say, if it's in England, say Southampton, you go there, you play a couple of games. But I've honestly only seen what I've read in the media. That's all I can go by as well. I know Cricket Australia are doing everything to make sure that we're as informed as possible, but it's just really hard at times with how quick things are changing. Yeah, I think that's really important. I think also just having world cricket up and running again, regardless of who's playing. I think we've seen the impact of just having live sport back for people to view, whether it's been AFL, NRL, golf. I know that I've loved just having live sport back to watch, and yes, it has its huge challenges with international teams, obviously going into different environments and different, I suppose, different risk countries and stuff like that. So it's going to be a big series for a lot of things, and hopefully everything goes well. Touch wood. That's what we all want. We just want cricket to be back up and running. Well, it's a good question. I think that two very successful countries, two countries that are very passionate about cricket as well, and the performance of our team. So I'm really, it's hard to compare because obviously one is the traditional game of Test cricket and the grind over 5 days, wherever it is, whether it's Australia or India, that mental battle day to day. I think that the one-day game is a little bit more of a skill base just on the day. Obviously, if a couple of players in your team have a day out, that goes a long way to winning the game. So, but the rivalry is definitely there, 100%. It's not a case of that being any less important or being taken any less lightly because it's a one day or a T20 or a Test match. Yeah, I think that it just comes down to, like I said earlier, just being really flexible and just doing whatever's needed for world cricket to be back up and running, and for all countries to be thriving and having the best opportunity to be successful. I think if you start looking at it as well, we need to play against a certain opposition or something like that for your own betterment, I think that's when a lot of things can fall down. I think that we just, especially in the really short term, we just have to be focused on making sure that world cricket is back up and running, and as many countries as possible are in a great state to be competing. I don't think that it's right now. I don't think the be all and end all is where you finish in rankings for a World Cup or anything like that. I just think that the health of world cricket is the most important, and whatever that looks like, it's going to be flexible. It's going to change on its head quite quickly, and yeah, there'll be some teams that are probably have a tougher challenge to get where they need to be. But I think that's all going to be over the next, say, 10 years. I think everything will even itself out. It won't be a big issue. I think that we've just got to get back to playing and making sure that we as players and as Australian players and Cricket Australia, ACA, everyone is doing whatever we can to make sure that cricket is in as healthy a spot as it can be. And I know that there's a lot of people working bloody hard on that at the moment. We haven't talked about it as a group, to be honest, mate. We haven't caught up as a main group for about 3 weeks on a group conference call. I think that's going to be planned over the next week. So we'll have there'll be more discussion, and that'll come up, no doubt. It's obviously been a huge issue, and something that we're all, whatever way that we can support it, I think that's important. That there's equality in everything, not just sport, and we're in a world where we probably get a little bit more exposure than a lot of other people. So I think the stand, it's going to be an important one. It's obviously been a huge topic recently in Australia and worldwide. So there'll be something, no doubt. I mean, he's been in leadership roles for a while. He's been around the England side. He's a great player. He's got the respect of their group. I know that for sure. So I'm sure that he'll do it in his own way. And wish Joe all the best with the birth of his child. I mean, that's exciting as well. So he'll be fine. He's a great player. People do it very different ways wherever you go around the world. Every captain's different, so he'll find what works for him.
If you want to have a listen with an earpiece or headphones, just there, see if you can get through.